I would say there's probably 20 to 30 new connections, friends, and I would say, 5 to 7 like close connections that I did not have 6, 8 months ago.
Just simply because of a
Yeah.
plastic yellow ball. Hey everyone, Coach Tommy here live, smashing plastic pickleball. We've got our buddy Jennings Smith. Jennings, how are you, sir?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you came here. I know you and I have been friends and acquaintances per se before pickleball, but we're now a lot closer because of pickleball. What I want everyone to know a little bit about you is give us the story of how, what, when, why pickleball, and where are you in your beloved journey? And most importantly, where do you see your journey with pickleball going?
So yeah, my background is in real estate, multifamily, self-storage, buying assets, grouping investors together, and then operating them. So somewhat of a stressful job, very all-consuming, doing this day in, day out. And I'm in a group of mentors, and we were talking about hobbies one day and how I really didn't have a hobby. I'd never had a hobby other than work. And so they kind of encouraged me, you need to find something that you enjoy, an outlet. It's good for you. It's going to be healthy. It's going to help you think more clearly, be more creative. And I didn't know what that meant at the time. But a few weeks later, I go to Houston, Texas, to Blue Jack National Golf Course. I'm not really a golfer, not good at it, don't love it. But at this beautiful resort, there was a pickleball court, and some of the guys that were with us knew how to play. And so we played a couple games. They taught me the rules, and I'm hitting it high and messing everything up. But it was awesome. Like, I think we played 5 or 6 games in a row, and like I didn't want to stop. It was 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, let's keep going, let's keep going. And I was hooked. And so when I came back, I recognized, holy cow, there's a community of pickleball here. There's a park that's 2 minutes from my house, and there's 12, 15 people there all the time playing pickleball. Maybe this is something that I could enjoy. Maybe it could be something that could be a hobby. But that was the nucleus of how it started.
That is awesome. Let me ask you this, because I know everybody's going to want to know, what's one of the nuances when you first start playing pickleball that kind of scares people away? What is one of those first things that you can remember that was a nuance of pickleball?
I wouldn't say it was anything technical. It was more a sense of fear. Like,
Okay.
I'm gonna be embarrassed. I'm not gonna know how to play the game. I'm gonna whack it out of bounds. Like, I'm not gonna be any good at it. It's kind of like if you don't go to the gym, it's kind of intimidating to start going to the gym because you don't know how to work out and you think everybody's gonna be looking at you and laughing at you. Or same with golf. And so with pickleball, that was probably my biggest hang up at the beginning was I don't know how to do this. I'm not any good. But what I found was what's so unique about this sport is there are places where you can go by yourself, put your paddle up at the court, and people will let you on the court and kind of show you the ropes. They want more people in the sport. They want to teach you how to play. They want to help you get better. And the community was extremely warm. And it's pretty easy to pick it up. Like within, a few weeks, like you're getting the hang of it versus like golf or tennis or some other sport. It's like, man, it could take you a year to get even just halfway decent at golf where you're not whacking it into the woods on every drive. So nuances was more like just a mental hang up of, will I be accepted? Will this be fun? Will people kind of show me the ropes of how to play this so that I can actually improve?
I think it's awesome. And I definitely know that the people that are listening, there's somebody there, probably a lot of people that are listening right now that are feeling that same exact way, that have no idea what pickleball is. They have no idea how to score it. They don't even know what a paddle or quote a racket may be that we play this beloved sport with. What would be, I guess, a word of encouragement that you would tell them that if they're listening to this podcast right now and they wanted to quote, try this pickleball out? I want you to give them a little sense of, I think you've already hit on it, how warm is a pickleball community?
So there's definitely going to be the purists, right? There's guys that are very, very good, very, very dedicated, and you can just watch a game and know, okay, they're out of my league. And that's probably not the court you should go and put your paddle up on. But there's usually intermediate players. There's typically kids playing. There's older people that are maybe just not as advanced, just picking up the game. those are the kind of people that are going to kind of show you the ropes and help you get started. But it's easy. Like, I mean, it's a wiffle ball. Like, you can hit it pretty hard and it's still going to stay in. Like,
Right.
the control aspect versus tennis or golf is 100 times easier. And I think that's why the sport has caught fire. Is it's very easy to pick it up and get to like a basic level of play. And then it's very complicated and very hard to get into the, 4.0, 4.5, 5.0 level. Tons of dedication. So there's challenge with the sport, but the barrier to entry is pretty low. It's pretty easy. And the warmth of the community is they'll hold your hand. Just yesterday, I was out at the court, and my son's youth minister randomly shows up. He's played pickleball a couple times. He asked me and another guy who's decent, "Hey, will you play with us?" So we split, one good guy
Sure.
on each team, one newbie on each team, and we had a great time. And by the end of the day, they were substantially better than they had been when they started. So the next time he comes out, he's going to be even more confident, want to stick with it.
I think it's awesome. I think exactly what you just said is what I want to reiterate to just everybody that's listening. That most importantly, if you are a pickler, if you're out there, make sure you listen to what he said, to where you are warm, right, and inviting the new folks, whether that is an older person or a kid or a pastor or whoever it may be. At the end of the day, we've all started somewhere. We've all started that day where we had no idea what in the world we were doing. And I will definitely share that story of how I got started in this crazy thing one time as well. But I will just reiterate that it truly is a game that, just like you said, you can pick it up so quickly. And I am like you. I feel like that's a big reason why it has taken off so much, is you can do it in small places. You can do it with a small amount of people, but most importantly, a small investment of equipment. And most of the time, the parks and stuff that are around us, we're very fortunate where we have a lot of options where we're at here in Charleston, South Carolina. It's awesome because you can literally walk up and play a game that you've never played, and you're probably gonna see a smile that you hadn't seen in a while. You agree?
Yeah, and some of my closest colleagues in the pickleball community now are the ones that were kind and took the time to work with me, like you, like Steve, Sam. He would play, and my son plays. He's 11, and I can see the character of people. It's like, I don't want to play with a kid. I don't want to waste my time. Versus those that will be open, welcome him
Sure.
in, let me play with him. And now he's great. I
Oh,
would
yeah.
say he's an intermediate player. He's doing really
He's
really
on it.
well.
He's got that dog. I know. I played with him yesterday and got called on a foot foul by actually an 11-year-old. But yeah, he's definitely got that dog in him. That is awesome. I wanted to make sure that people kind of heard a little bit of how you got started. So now let's go into a little bit. What's next for you on this? Where do you honestly, truthfully see yourself? Is this like Jennings is selling his real estate and I'm chasing the MLP tour? Where are you at honestly with where you feel pickleball? And is it something that, is it gonna fad out of your life, or is this something that you wanna continue to try to get better? Where are you at with that?
I'll say I've never had a hobby that I've, like, been so obsessed with. I
Really?
mean,
Wow, that's
it's
good.
now, I don't have aspirations to go on tour,
Right.
maybe the senior tour by the
Right,
time I'm
yeah,
60,
right, I got
but, I've got 4 kids, I've got a wife, I've got a business to run, um, but I do find the convenience factor, like golf. My dad, he played a lot of golf when he was a kid. When he was raising us, really didn't have time. Now he's retired, he's playing more golf. But golf, by the time you get your club, get out there, play 18 holes, get home, it's 4 or 5 hours or
100%,
longer.
100%.
And so there goes your Saturday. It's like, whereas with Laurel Street, these parks and pickle bar and all these other facilities, it's like you can just swing by for an hour, play 3 or 4 games, go on with your day. Oh, hey, I've got an opening this evening. I can go play in the ladder league. No big deal. And it doesn't totally take over your life like something like golf. And you don't have to organize a lot of people. That's one of like I don't have to find a foursome to go play
Right,
golf. I don't have to find a partner to go play tennis. Um, but at this point, I'm trying to keep it in check where I'm like, I mean, I would love to play every day,
sure,
but you gotta, your knees start hurting. You gotta
right.
keep it in check.
I feel like at the end of the day, you're right. I think one of the things that's interesting, and I don't wanna use this word, but it is, I feel like personally, pickleball is a very quick escapism. Like, it's almost an escape, right? Like, you can truly just, you can enter within an hour and play competitively. If competition's your juice, you got it. But more so than that, I think it's really cool to walk up and play with places that literally are going to greet you, smile, and be legitimately bona fide happy to see you. Is that you find that real?
It is. I mean, I think my wife made this comment the other day. She's like, I'm so glad that you've plugged into this pickleball community because you can relax. You can be yourself. you're not there's not an angle where, okay, does this guy have a deal for me?
Sure.
Does he want to join my education program? Could I raise money from this guy for my next real estate deal? It's like there's really no angle. It's just I can enjoy their company and these friends. I mean, I'm making friends with totally random people that my paths would not cross, right?
Right.
They don't go to church with me. They're not in real estate. So I'm finding like a vast mix of people to become and have genuine friendships with. I mean, Sam, pretty close friend of mine, he's like 24 years old. He's a PE teacher, and I don't see how that relationship would have ever evolved
Sure.
outside of pickleball. And yet, he's like me and my son's one of my favorite players out there and friend.
Right.
Your home is more than just a place. It's your pride, your sanctuary. Its exterior is the first impression it gives to the world, and a shield that protects you from the elements. But over time, weather and wear can dull its shine and compromise its safety. That's where we come in. At First Class Painting and Restoration, we bring your property back to life with our premium painting services. Using state-of-the-art tools and techniques, we deliver exceptional results on time and within budget. As a local award-winning company with over 15 years of experience, we're known for our family reputation and unique culture. We're not just painters, we're craftsmen who care about our community and the people we serve. We're committed to bettering our customers, employees, and community through the fun trade of painting. So choose First Class Painting and Restoration and experience the difference of a company that cares. Because making your house feel like home is our first-class service.
He's like, you're right. It's so interesting. I don't know any other sport. And for some of you, my background, actually, believe it or not, played baseball through high school, went to college, played baseball, got hurt, ended up getting into golf and became a professional golfer out of college. And now somehow or another, I'm a certified pickleball instructor. And here I am to pickleball. The reason I say that is because it is just so interesting how the path we all end up at this place of pickleball is just so, I don't want to use the word random, but it is definitely interesting how so many different people can come together. So now I can be on the court, with a 65-year-old black woman, an 11-year-old white kid, and a 33-year-old Asian guy that, does extermination on his lunch break. And I say that because I don't know any other place in my life, including my church, where that would happen. Is that real? Is that true? I mean, you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. The mix and the draw is so vast because I think the barrier to entry is easy. And you hit on something, escapism. I would reframe that as a positive thing. It's like, and you probably meant it as a positive thing. It's like when you're on the court and you're in an intense game, like you can't think about anything else except for, where's my paddle position need
Sure.
to be? Like I got to get this next ball over the net, and I don't want to hit it out.
Right.
Um, and so it gives you a time where you can intensely focus. It's kind of like going to the gym or working out. You work out, you release endorphins, you have a great time, you feel better about yourself at the end, but it's a struggle to go to the gym. Every time you go to the gym, at least for me,
Sure.
I don't really want to. I know some people love working out, but I don't really want to do that. Whereas with pickleball, it's like, oh, I gotta go play pickleball for an hour or two. Man, that's gonna suck. It's like, no, I'm excited to go. I'm burning calories. I'm moving, active, making friends, competing. And yeah, when I leave that court, I feel refreshed, cleared, right? I'm ready to go back. I'm ready to go hit the work or whatever I'm trying to do.
Sure.
Um, but that break is extremely important.
I think this is a fantastic segue, and Jennings, that's awesome. I want to reiterate on what you just said about the fitness aspect of pickleball, because I feel like I don't think there's enough emphasis on it. I know that we all in our lives have examples of it, but let's hit on just the sole benefit of health and fitness and what it has done in your life, because you're a guy that's in shape. I know that it's something that that you legitimately care about. Walk us through how pickleball has truly legitimately benefited you on just a physical and health standpoint of where you're at in your life today.
So, we talked about the mental health. I won't rehash that, although that's probably one of the biggest benefits of it. But I really have never been a guy that works out consistently up until about 3 years ago. I hired a trainer. I have to meet with him 3 times a week, and I got about 80% to where I wanted to be as far as my fitness levels.
Okay.
But My diet was not perfect. I'm not just eating boiled chicken and rice for 3 meals a day. I still like to have a Dorito every now and then
Right.
and a
Yeah.
piece of cake. And so I could not get this last little bit of body fat
Mhm.
off, really because of my own discipline. Um, and only working out 3 times a week and really just lifting weights, not doing much cardio. And so, um, implementing pickleball has probably added, 5 to 8 hours a week in additional movement, additional cardio, and I wouldn't say I've dropped weight, but I've dropped fat, right? I'm a lot more cut than I was. My body fat percentage has gone down by a couple points, and I've finally, 3 years into this fitness journey, gotten to where, okay, I look in the mirror and I'm like, man, I like the way I look. I look good. I've got a six pack again. I'm happy with the way I look.
Sure.
And pickleball was that last thing to get me over that hump without sacrificing, like, I'm going to eat like a monk every day, and because I just, it has to be sustainable, right? And
Sure.
this is a sustainable, fun way to get over the hump. I mean, you still, you got to lift weights and do something
Right.
more than just pickleball, but we've seen that on the court.
We
People
have.
dropping tons of weight.
I mean, we can drop Zach's name. I'm sure Zach would remember. We have people that are on court that are 100 pounds down. I mean, 100 pounds.
Rich too. Yeah.
Rich. I mean, that's a lot of weight. But I think one of the things that I want to reiterate and that I love about it that you hinted at is that there are these and I don't know how you feel, but there's these self-built-in disciplines that you will now automatically do that you didn't really do because you want to quote unquote be better. So for instance, if we want to be able to get to a certain ball, we need to be lighter and quicker in order to get to a certain ball. For me personally, I can tell you, like, especially if I'm going up into a tournament or if I'm going up into a competitive time, I will build in like a self-discipline to where I do not want to eat certain things because I want to be better on the court. It sounds crazy, but like I legitimately will not do a bowl of cereal that night because I want to be faster the next morning. It sounds simple, and sounds silly, but at the end of the day, I love that. I think you have to have those certain parameters in your life that are fun ways of discipline, as opposed to, like you said, played baseball, high school, college, all of the above. So working out is something that, as much as I have done it, it is still to this day not something that I'm like, yes, I am getting up to go lift weights tomorrow. Like, I don't know, and I personally don't know. I know people can enjoy working out. I think they enjoy staying in shape more than they enjoy working out. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
for me, pickleball is one of those ways that you can, as we age, progressively stay nice and limber and agile in ways that, in all honesty, even working out doesn't do, because the fast twitch muscles and the start and go and the stop and the side to side lateral movement, that's really hard to duplicate unless you're doing it in a true athletic fashion. And listening right now, I coach baseball, and that's one of the reasons why I enjoy my ball players playing pickleball so much, is because there are so many similar movements from the stop and start and the short and the go to the net and back. Those are all very similar movements that I have to coach my baseball players on, which is why I feel like so many of my ball players are really good pickleball players.
Yeah, and when I first started, my knees and my feet really hurt
Okay.
because they were weak,
Right. Right.
and I'm getting into this new sport and talking to my trainer, I'm like, oh, do you think I should kind of stop playing pickleball or cut back? Like, my knees and feet really, really hurt. He's like, no, you know, the reason why is because they're just not strong. They're not used to that. And so he started to craft my workouts where I squat every time, which sucks. I mean, that's the
Right.
worst
It's awful.
exercise
Right.
there
Yeah,
is, but
it's awful.
he wants to strengthen my knees and feet, and just continuously playing, like, my feet are harder. My knees are tougher. Like, I can handle the abuse of it now. And you also learn, okay, I can't go out there and play pickleball for 4 hours straight,
Right.
multiple days in a row. There's like a, you discover pickleball, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go pro.
You got to have recovery. Yeah. You got to have some
You
recovery.
overdo it at
Yeah,
first.
for sure. Absolutely, 1,000%. I love that. No, you're absolutely right. And I feel like at the end of the day, like, we could use this segment into, like, the equipment and all that kind of stuff. It matters, just like in any sport. Good shoes matter, good paddles matter, all that kind of stuff. And we'll talk more about that on different podcasts. But I really just want to reiterate the fact of how much health, but also what I love that you incorporated was the mental health that playing a sport with a community can really be. And I think at the end of the day, we'll end on that, is walk us through we hit on a little bit, but walk me through the social aspect and the connections. And I love the fact that you kind of reiterated your business into it. wrap us up with the connectivity, the memberships of friendships and that kind of stuff that you feel pickleball is doing right now in your life from 1 year ago. I mean, how many more friends do you have today? How many more connections do you have today? I look at you right now, you really don't look stressed out. I walk me through that, man, on the social aspect of pickleball.
So yeah, I'm every day I kind of look at my calendar. I'm like, oh, is there like a block of an hour or two that I could carve out, and so I try to think ahead and plan because I know when I roll up to the court, there's gonna be, 5 to 10 people that know my name,
Yeah.
that I know their name. They're like, oh, dude, Jennings is here. All right, cool. Let's get him on the court with us. Let's play. Um, I'm now getting invited. There's a guy who has a membership at a private place and they got clay courts. And so, he picks out 3 or 4 guys that are going to go play there on Tuesday night. And I did a tournament. Okay, who can be my partner for the tournament? All right, Sam. So now we're prepping for this tournament. We're talking to each other. We're like, we got to have our body armors. And I'm like, you got to get a new paddle, dude. Your paddle sucks. And so building these friendships and, you know, he got one of those ace paddles or whatever, and I saw an ace hat. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna pick up this hat for him and give it to him because just to let him know I'm thinking about him. And just outside of even pickleball, just texting, talking, hanging out. So yeah, I would say there's probably 20 to 30 new connections, friends, and I would say 5 to 7 like close connections that I did not have 6-8 months ago.
Simply because of a plastic yellow ball.
Exactly.
It's crazy. Like at the end of the day, like, and I could reiterate and I could go in for hours upon hours about the same thing, but it's really interesting to me to know how social this sport, and I truly believe with every fiber of my body that is the biggest reason of the wildfire that we've seen in the sport of pickleball is the social aspect of it. How in the world, and I'm going to age myself here, but I think about when I was a little kid and you would hear that song from Cheers, how everybody knows my name or however it goes, that song. I think about that when I roll up to the pickleball court now because everybody knows my name at this pickleball court. And it doesn't matter if I go to, to Laurel or to Collins or wherever it may be that we're playing. It's so interesting how the smallness of pickleball, because of team reach and the tournaments and everybody's playing in these things, how many connections we now have from 6-8 a year ago. It's crazy. Like, it really is crazy.
Last Saturday, I was with my boys. We had something to do in the morning, and I said, hey, you know what? Let's go have lunch at Pickle Bar. They're doing a tournament and just hang out with my friends. I wasn't even playing the tournament, but like I wanted to go hang out, cheer on my friends, watch them compete, and be a giver, and that's where when somebody's new, like you never know who's going to be the next rising star, who's really going to click with this and really going to connect with this, and it's going to be an awesome member of the community. And so it's like, hey, I'm going to help this person, next one up, help them along. But no, that is the best part about it. I've never felt that camaraderie with any other sport community.
Yeah, I second that. And I feel like at the end of the day, that's probably a great way for us to wrap up where we're at, is just at the end of it. I mean, it's crazy how Smashing Plastic, our brand, AKA, but it is a adjective of what we're doing, is so integral in so many different aspects of our life. Yes, it's great for our health. It's great for our mentality. It's great because we get to wear cool clothes now. It's great because we're looking better. And the wives are like, man, I see your calf muscles. It's really kind of cool. You know what I mean? In some different ways that I would have never imagined. But I do want to reiterate how awesome it is to have you on here and join us with our first podcast, but also just the ability to reach out to any of our, I would say, neighborly people that are out there in the pickleball community that want to come on and share their story about what Smashing Plastic is doing for you and how it's not just benefiting you with, learning how to, serve and, hit great drop shots, which I hope you're doing. And if not, I know a really good coach that can help you with that. But how it's benefiting you in ways of your life, the people that you're meeting and the health and the smiles and the mentality of having an escape, of getting away from that day-to-day grind on something that you're carving out a little bit of time to go smash some plastic. So appreciate you all. If you liked what you heard, please do me a favor and smash that like button. Make sure that you continue to listen to the podcast. We'll get better and better at this. We'll get more and more. And Jennings, again, huge thank you, buddy, for coming on. We're going to make sure we're going to hook you up with some Smash gear for coming on. And we look forward to seeing you on the court soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Tommy. Appreciate it.
Hey everyone, Coach Tommy here. Today's coach tip is going to be about the serve and the depth of the serve. If you see in this video that we're doing right now, what I'm working with Jennings on is making sure that when he is serving, his goal in his life is to keep the serve about 2 feet from the baseline. Now, that is going to lead with some of these errors that go long, and of course, we're going to have some short ones. But the reason that I want him to work on this, and the reason I want you to work on this, is the depth of the serve matters. It keeps your opponent back, which then allows you to have the ability to hopefully get to that crazy kitchen line that everybody wants to get to win the rally. So most importantly, when you are practicing your serves, and by the way, if you're not practicing your serves, you need to be practicing your serves, please practice the depth as well as the shape and the pace of your serve. I like a good 2-foot goal to the baseline is what I'm trying to, when I'm practicing my service or I'm working with my students on serving, I like 2 foot from the baseline back, and that will definitely help you neutralize your opponent at that kitchen line.